Konnichiwa, folks. The Creative Emmy Awards have been given, and Shogun, Only Murders in the Building, The Bear, Baby Reindeer, all these are winning big. Specifically, Shogun, which, in my opinion, is the biggest appointment television of 2024 among the big ones like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and the currently House of Dragon. So, yeah, for me, it is top-notch drama series. I loved it, so I was also rooting for the big wins it was getting. So let's give you a brief understanding of what is Emmy. So Emmy is one of those prestigious awards in the telemedia, similar to Oscars, that is for movies. So these Emmys are distributed among big ones like Best Actor, Best Series, and the other ones which are more of a technical and non-technical supporting kind of awards which are given for the background effort and the support for developing the series. Those are called Creative Emmys. So let's go quickly about brief history of what is it based on. Shogun is basically based on a novel written by James Clavell, which is set in pre-Edo 1600 feudal Japan. The Taiko, who is basically working for the emperor, finally passing away. And Toranaga is essentially a historical figure, Tokugawa Ieyasu, who was a regent of Yemen, and his castle was in Osaka. Basically, Taiko has given him the work to safeguard his child till he becomes a Taiko and things like that. Because of this kind of diplomatic relationship between Taiko and Toranaga-sama, the other regions of other places, they become jealous of this guy. And then the whole political and spiritual war between these regions start. And the whole series is about that and finding conflicting ideas between different ideologies and things like that. The series is basically a profound clash between fusion of cultures where Eastern stoicism meets Western ambition, creating mesmerizing philosophical and perceptive odds between the two races of humans and its societal tapestry. At its heart lies Bushido, also called seppuku, contrasting with the self-deterministic approach of the West embodied in Blackthorn's journey. Who's Blackthorn? So Blackthorn is basically the person who comes from a foreign land to Japan in search of claiming the land, because Portuguese and English are distributing the world into two parts, and the series goes deep into those philosophies and how do you conquer outside by conquering inside. Those kind of philosophies are prevalent and existent in the series. The existence of three hearts and eightfold fence to keep the innermost heart hidden from the world in a maze-like emotional cobweb where no one ever sees you. You and your mind are the only ones who will recognize it and frame it as per the world would be able to see you. Such philosophies and such intricate ideologies of Japanese culture are prevalent in the series. It wrestles with the fate and free will, mirroring Zen's acceptance of impermanence and relentless drive for a control in a chaotic world. The series transcends mere historical fiction, becoming a meditation on power, loyalty, respect. It is not just a story. Shogun is an experience, a living philosophy on human condition and humankind. This series was already at such a high level of expertise and deliverance of philosophy and ideas that of course it is going to hit. And since it is a period piece, there are things which they can borrow historically, which they can deliver at different philosophical and visual levels, which also I think Game of Thrones has done quite a bit, and House of the Dragon, I guess, and they have also captured that period but philosophical approach to storytelling. This series was anyway poised to get all the Emmy accolades it could have, but since it has made a history by getting 13 Creative Emmy and 1 Primetime Emmy, the production design. The series takes us to a literal 1600 feudal Japan with emerging and developed cities like Osaka and building Edo. The language being a special older version of Japanese, more royal and feudal. The sets have become a perceptive image of what it could have been during the 1600 Japan. So you are absolutely transported to that land of feudal Japan. I need to shout out the episode for which the production design was given. It was the first episode, Anjin. Production design team had Helen Jarvis, Chris Beach, Lisa Lancaster, and Jonathan Lancaster. Next comes cinematography. The long resting shots with utmost tension and cluelessness on the regal and sophisticated dialogues between regions, or walking in a park writing the future of Japan, everything in the series oozes meticulous and elaborate expertise. Especially the Dream of a Dream episode 10 builds tension and delivers it in the most cinemaholic auteur perspective. Chilling and artsy. Absolute picture perfect. Shogun's Crimson Sky bagged the outstanding cinematography. Anjan was also nominated, but it didn't get. And the person who was behind the Crimson Sky, Sam McCurdy, the director of photography, he won the best cinematography for the series. Next comes period costume. The costumes really spoke about what the person is thinking, how she or he is going to deliver himself or put himself in front of the other people. Is he in power? Is he meager? Is he going to listen? Is he going to dominate? All these things are done with complete expertise and elegance using these dresses. So here are some kimonos to rega attires to feathery, more exuberant, outrageous and dramatically royal-looking dresses. The dresses talk their own story. The class system, the difference between the play of hide and seek between two personalities behind closed doors, and all these intricate emotions and perceptions of two different individuals just by wearing two different clothes. People change as the clothes change and their whole personality changes. That is astounding at the end of the series. And specifically, ladies of the Willow World, for which Emmy for the period costume was given. Shout out to the people who got the Emmy. Costume designer Carlos Rosario, costume designer Carol Griffin, assistant costume designer Riston Bond, assistant costume designer Kenichi Tanaka, and assistant costume designer Paula Placi. Then comes period hairstyle, makeup, non-prosthetics, and prosthetics. These episodes show Japanese theater art and specifically the Abyss of Life episode unfolding within the tale of Ishido and Toranaga. Period fantasy and sci-fi hairstyling. Shogun got nominated for A Stick of Time and it won. Hair designer Sana Karina Sapanen, key hairstylist Mariah Crawley, key hairstylist Madison Gillespie, key hairstylist Nakari Kiyo, and key hairstylist Janis Beckering. Period and fantasy sci-fi makeup, non-prosthetics. Shogun won for the episode called The Abyss of Life. It's one of my favorite episodes because the cliffhanger is heart-wrenching. And the people who won the Emmy were makeup designer Rebecca Lee, the outstanding prosthetics makeup for Dream of a Dream, the last episode. The most artsy finales there has ever been. The outstanding prosthetic makeup was given to Toby Lindala, special makeup effects department head. Then comes the title track. And it is by far one of the best after Game of Thrones. It is better than Daredevil, and I'm a big fan of Daredevil, and I love that red and black themed Daredevil title. And to say that it is better than Daredevil means everything to me. It's big stuff. This is fun because this year was the best year for two main title tracks in Shogun, which is FX, essentially FX Hulu, and X-Men 97, which is Marvel. So we won for the title track as well. And the person responsible for the title track, creative director Nadia Zuo, designer Shaolin Zheng, animator Alex Silver, animator Lee Buckley, designer Ilya Selutin, animator Ivan Larimore. Couple of nominations which it had, but it didn't win. Two of them were outstanding music composition for the series, and it lost to Only Murders in the Building. Outstanding original main title theme music lost to Palm Royale. So after this comes sound mixing and sound editing. Shogun broke into the fist. This episode has got sound editing and sound mixing. So the people who were behind this Emmy, re-recording mixer Steve Pedersen, re-recording mixer Greg P. Russell, production mixer Michael Williamson, ADR mixer Takashi Akako, and Foley mixer Arno Stefanian. Sound editing, supervising sound editor Brian J. Armstrong. Then, a picture editing and special effects. I would only say every scene is a mood. It is such a pure translation of mind and words that it's sometimes a trance experience. Visually engulfing, it has that hidden special effects and the people behind it. Overall visual effects supervisor Michael Cleat, Production Associate Visual Effects Producer Melody Mead, On-Set Visual Effects Supervisor Jed Glassford, Special Effects Coordinator Cameron Waldbauer, Visual Effects Supervisor ILP Philip Engstrom, Visual Effects Production Manager Chelsea Myris, Visual Effects Supervisor SSVFX Ed Bruce, Visual Effects Producer SSVFX Nicholas Murphy, fantastic name, Visual Effects Supervisor Refuge Key Rotman. The episode for which Emmy for Picture Editing was given was Dream of a Dream, episode 10. The Emmy for Picture Editing went to Mario Gonzalez and Aika Miyake. Then comes stunt performances, classical Kurosawa style battles. It has reminiscence of Seven Samurai, Ran, all those classic Kurosawa imagery. So stunt performances, it got for the Eightfold Fence. The stunt performer, Hiro Minami, stunt performer, Nobuyuki Obikane, stunt performer, Martin Kuchinko, and stunt performer, Johnson Fan. Also, it has bagged the Emmy for perfect casting. It has also bagged the big primetime Emmy for the guest actor, Nestor Carbonell. So he's kind of a comedic mentor to Blackthorn. At the same time, he's very philosophical and he's very realistic. Let me tell you about who won for the casting of drama series. Casting Laura Schiff. So these are all 16 nominations and 14 wins for Shogun. It has already created history by most numbers of wins. I hope it bags all the 7 of them and creates history with a 20 plus. That's the hope. Here I'll end the episode and I will ask you, who are you rooting for? Sorry. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully the discussion was fun for you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Until then, sayonara, bye-bye, namaste, shabba khair, shubhratri. See you again.